Descent: Journeys in the Dark was released 6 years ago to be the seminal dungeon crawler experience, and it just created a wave of enthusiasm and spawned multiple expansions. There was so much that we discovered after the game's release that was part of that experience, that we added a campaign system, we added character development, and it became one of the key releases in our library. Some time ago, we decided that what if we could turn the clock back and take everything that we've learned about producing games, everything we've learned about game design. What if we could redesign Descent to be even greater than it had been? It is, incredible to see how you can take an experience, take a design, take something that has such an important role in the company, and actually reinvent it in a way that is even truer to the spirit of the game that we designed 6 years ago.
It's a 2 to 5 player game where one player will always play as the Overlord, who is the evil mastermind controlling all the monsters in the world. All the rest of the players control heroes. The heroes are trying to go on quests and complete these objectives while the Overlord is trying to complete his objectives. And he has lots of nasty tricks in his hand. As you complete quests, you gain experience to level up and buy new skills, giving you more options with your character. It very much has a role-playing feel to it. A lot of video gamers might be familiar with role-playing games, so they know how that works. Now, in 2nd edition, every quest has unique objectives for both the heroes and the Overlord. So they're both trying to complete their goals while battling against each other at the same time.
Each quest is a 2-part experience. So what you do in part 1, encounter 1, will influence how you play in encounter 2.
There are 20 quests included in the base game, and of those 20 quests, 9 of those are played in the campaign. So the more campaigns you play, you'll get different combinations of quests, and it'll play out differently each time.
Each individual campaign is about 20 hours, and of course, I don't even want to think about how many fan-created quests are going to be floating around out there. People will make up their own campaigns, make up their own quests. The hero class is a big change. It lets you pick a style of play and then tailor yourself around it.
We also streamlined a lot of things where a lot of the information is now right in front of the players. Monster cards have all their special abilities on the back. You don't have to look up in the rule book for every little rule anymore.
Condition cards have the effects of the condition printed right on them.
Yeah, if you get poisoned.
You're poisoned.
We also added defense dice to the game, where we use dice to resolve attacks and tests during the game. And as you attack, your opponent also rolls defense dice, and any shields he would roll would block out any damage done.
The story takes place in the Runebound universe, in the nation of Terrinoth. And in a quiet barony in the north of Terrinoth, things are going wrong and some evil, dark power is rising, and the heroes must discover who the Overlord is and what his nefarious plot might be, and how he threatens not just this barony, but all of Terrinoth. I'm not going to speculate about what other companies do or why they do it, but if we have a single centralized setting for all these games, what we do is we create familiarity amongst the end user, amongst the consumers, the players. So when we created this new game, we added new content to 3 other games because they were all happening in the same universe.
So Descent had a huge catalog of heroes and monsters for Descent 1st edition. So with the release of 2nd edition, we're doing a conversion kit, which actually lets players who have all those old expansions bring their heroes and their monsters into the 2nd edition.
So if you played Modrog and Runebound, you played Modrog in Descent 1st edition, you can get the conversion kit and bring Modrog forward into Descent 2nd edition. Or we have all new heroes and all new monsters.
Of course, this made playtesting Descent very difficult.
So the toughest part about writing for this game is that I'm never certain if anyone's going to read it. It is a truth of gamers that many of them, not all, but many of them don't read the flavor text. Whether it's just clicking through the quests in an MMO, or just ignoring the flavor text on a card in a card game, or what have you. But there are also quite a few gamers who really get immersed in the story and really get involved in it. So for those guys, and I'm one of those guys, so for people like me, I want to make sure that the story is there for people who want to get engaged with it.